It's kind of weird to explain, but I switched to Mac. Again. So actually I switched to Mac about a year ago, and then I kept having a Mac as my computer, you know. But the thing is that about half a year ago, I stopped using Mac as my only computer. Well, the Mac has still been my computer, but not Mac OS as my main operating system. And mostly because of some disagreements that I have with Apple. Apple hardware just sucks, and the software just gets worse with more Apple-ness. I even made a video talking about that. I like my Mac, but I hate Apple. And I said, well, I'm gonna just switch to PC, and I'm just gonna use my Mac as a PC, because the plan was to buy another laptop, eventually, after a couple of years maybe, but it was a PC laptop. And even for a while I started using my desktop PC that I honestly don't really like as my computer. And it wasn't until about last week that I kind of fell in love with the Mac again. But let's get back in time for a bit. What was my objective with switching to PC? First of all, repairability. Second of all, ports. And third of all, doing what I want to do. And I've had some already made choices of what laptop I would buy in the future, maybe a Surface laptop or a ThinkPad. But you know, as I started to actually look into it, and I was actually thinking of selling my MacBook, I kind of realized something, and that's that there's not that much good stuff. I mean, some people say, oh, get a ThinkPad because they're amazing, but performance, unless you get a proper big ThinkPad, performance is not really good. It's just a normal Ultrabook performance. I could get something like an older Dell XPS, but the XPS lineup is not very reliable. And really there's just not much else. The LG Gram sucks. I'm not getting any Razer products because they suck also. The framework is still way too expensive and still Ultrabook performance. And that's basically all the choice that I have. I'm not gonna get anything HP related because HP sucks. I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen an HP product be actually good for a reasonable price. So we have the hardware part already fucked up. Because, okay, the MacBooks have the problems of barely any ports and no upgradability or repairability. They are still good laptops. Amazing screen, amazing trackpad, good enough keyboard, and there's just no dumbheadedness. Seriously, how can anybody think that the skip song button is not a necessity? And yes, you cannot upgrade any Mac that's from this decade or before. But I'm gonna be honest, I haven't done that much in my life. Even though I do have a desktop PC that you can upgrade, and I have upgraded with just more storage, well, it's not that much. And upgradability in the laptop space is already lacking at best. I mean, what can you do? Upgrade the storage or the RAM? I mean, there are things that I would do in my MacBook. I am missing a bit of storage and I would like a bit of more RAM, but they are not super necessary. And in terms of repairing, yes, I mean, of course, to save more money, but I'm generally quite careful of my technology, so I don't usually break my laptop, at least. I do have to say that I'm not extremely careful with phones anyways. For laptops, yes. In terms of performance, usually you would say, oh, MacBooks, that's not two words that go together. And I mean, my current MacBook, I am using it to record the camera. Can you hear it? Its fans are just it's still Ultrabook performance. But literally anything newer than my MacBook does have some really good performance and especially battery life. I mean, people have replaced desktops with literally just a really thin MacBook Air. And with the ports, well, my requirements would be SD card slot, USB-A and HDMI, but they're not actually requirements, they're just commodities. But I've slowly eliminated the need for having more ports, everything else is becoming USB-C in my life. And really the only thing that's not USB-C, my D502 mouse, I do really want a wireless mouse. But really I've just solved that by having a USB-A to C dongle just permanently plugged into the MacBook, which definitely will wear out the port eventually. And I do have a Magic Mouse, the problem is that I don't like it. Look at how flat it is. It's not super comfortable, and the little touch surface I don't really like it. And to move things in and out of my phone, I literally just unplug my charger from my MacBook and plug it into my phone. The wonders of USB-C. Also, when I got this phone, I unlocked a memory that I had from like 4 years ago, and I had a Xiaomi with an SD card slot. This would be my SD card dongle for me. So that eliminates the need for an SD card slot. So yeah, the Mac hardware is workable. Let's talk about the software. I mean, actually, the software is one of the parts that I actually wanted to move on for, because macOS is really restrictive. I mean, even just now, like, I'm kind of like fine with macOS. I still have to do a couple of workarounds to be able to work. Like a window manager, an app to make my scroll wheel good. Android file transfer sucks, so I have to move files from the terminal, and other stuff. And even when I didn't use macOS, it still sucked because of that awful T2 chip. I hate it. And like, seriously, the T2 chip sucks. I will make a video about this. Do not think that the T2 chip is that important. I was out of focus. Like, I've had countless issues with Windows and Linux, plainly just because of the T2 chip getting on my way. You know, my computer struggling to wake up from sleep, or just crashing while it's like closed, or crashing while it's open. Like, I've counted like 20 times that Windows has crashed on this MacBook, and seriously, I've had basically no problems with Windows just crashing on a normal computer. But lately, I tried to switch back to macOS just to, you know, check how it is, you know? Since I was thinking about buying another laptop, I needed to know if I had to budget for it, you know, sell this MacBook, whatever. So I tried macOS to see if I even needed it to. Apparently, I like macOS again. Yep. I mean, it's just the simplicity of it. Managing apps is wonderful. Programs are just good. Like, seriously, Final Cut, Logic, Pixelmator, Apple Music, and even some of the other multi-platform apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, and like whatever else, they're just good, and only on the Mac they're good. And some of the apps that I used are just Catalyst apps, which means they are ported from iPadOS to macOS, like the new WhatsApp beta and Telegram. And believe me, I prefer using a Catalyst app than using a fucking web app. I hate Electron. And look, I'm a video person, as you can probably see. Final Cut is amazing. Like, editing on other programs like Premiere, Olive, DaVinci Resolve, it's fine. And Final Cut is just so much easier. And the terminal, I mean, like, just not having to worry about how some things are installed. Like, macOS being based on Unix is so good for terminal usage. Also, the fact that I don't need drivers. Also, the it just works thing, it really just sometimes does work. And it's just smoother. Easy things like switching desktops and stuff, like, yeah, it's just smoother. And again, it's very restrictive sometimes. And things have to be done in an Apple way. Like how the scroll wheel sucks unless you have an app, and even then, it's still gonna suck sometimes. But it just works well. So, yeah, I have switched to Mac again. Said that I wouldn't go to Mac again. Said that, oh, I'm a PC person, I hate Apple, oh, I love the Mac. So that video that I made, oh, I hate Apple, whatever, I really do just love the Mac. It annoys me sometimes, but it really is just good. And I have tried to go top to bottom on Linux or on Windows, and I have used them. But on Linux, there's barely any editing programs, like Olive, and that's pretty much it. On Windows, Windows sucks. And on macOS, things are just there. So yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. I read all of them. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.